Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Versatility Podcast. Welcome back with another episode. We got week 7. It's Sunday morning. Of course, I'm gonna make my picks for week 7, recapping college football yesterday, Saturday, and then also baseball games from the past couple days. Since Wednesday night that I did my last episode, I'm gonna be finally reviewing Drake's new album For All the Dogs and a couple other albums that I've been listening to for the past couple weeks. I still have to hear the albums that came out last week and also Sampha's new album that came out a couple days ago. But we will do that for the next episode. And then I believe the next episode will probably be Tuesday night. Yes, Tuesday. I'll probably do a Tuesday night because on Tuesday the NBA season comes back. Lakers, Nuggets, and then Suns, Warriors. The first 2 games of the regular season on Tuesday night. So I'm super excited. But anyways, let's get straight to it. Let's start off obviously with baseball. As you know, we have to start with the postseason because we're getting closer and closer to the World Series. The World Series is going to start around in a couple weeks, not in a couple weeks, in a couple days. Excuse me. So yeah, within a couple weeks, we're going to be starting the World Series off. So let's just get straight to it. All right. So we had games. We have 1 game today. We have maybe 2 games tomorrow, but at the very least, we will have a game. We will at least have 1 game tomorrow. But so we ended off on Wednesday. Okay, so 2-0 Phillies lead. There we go. Now on Wednesday we had the Astros winning 8-5. I actually no, I think I already talked about this game. So yeah, they took a 2-1 series lead there, and then now on Thursday we had the Diamondbacks winning 2-1. In Game 3, winning their first game back at home in Arizona. Yeah, the Phillies offense wasn't there at all. I mean, who got the RBI? Who was only going to get the RBI here? I mean, Bryce Harper had 2 walks, and then Alec Boehm got a hit, and Trey Turner. So yeah, our pitching was good, but their pitching was great. Who pitched in this game? It was Brandon Fad. Brandon Fad, I believe. He was dialing in with pitching almost 6 innings, 6 complete innings, two hits, and struck out 9, and didn't walk until the bullpen came in with Shalfak and Thompson, and the rest of the bullpen took care of business. So yeah, the Diamondbacks. I mean, yeah, their pitching and their bullpen, they were able to take care and not allow many runs or let the Phillies attack and get a bunch of solo home runs and get on base that often. I mean, we only had 3 total hits throughout the game, while the offense for the Cardinals, for the Diamondbacks, was useful more in the ninth inning. And then eventually, that was when Ketel Marte walked it off in the bottom of the ninth inning. So yeah, I mean, the Diamondbacks got the good win there in Game 3, as they definitely needed to win that one. Then in Game 4, excuse me, Game 4, we had the Astros absolutely dominating the Rangers 10-3 here. As you could see, a home run by Jose Abreu, Chas McCormick. Altuve had 3 hits, 3 runs. Jose Urquidy didn't have the best game, didn't pitch that much. Hunter Brown, I mean, he had 3 innings there. Phil Maton had 2 innings, 2 complete innings there. Jose Urquidy only had 2 1/3. While the Rangers offense couldn't get much there. I mean, Adolis Garcia has been a dog in this postseason. Corey Seager had a home run. Same with Adolis Garcia. And their pitching, they just were switching up to the bullpen with Andrew Heaney, Dane Dunning. I believe he was a starting pitcher for this one. And then Cody Bradford only, pitching almost a complete inning, and then almost 2 innings completed. Will Smith, I didn't know there was a pitcher named Will Smith. Martin Perez, he had 2 innings there. So yeah, but the Astros, man, their offense was electric in this one, and yeah, did not much to say here. The Astros, they tied the series up with that win there. And then now we go Friday. We had 2 games on Friday with the Astros beating the Rangers. This is the 3rd straight win for the Astros, and well, let's talk about this game because there was a little bit of drama in this game. So in the 8th inning, the Rangers were up 4-2. Adolis Garcia, they had 2 runners on. Adolis Garcia got hit by a pitch from, I believe, Abreu. What's his name? The Astros pitcher, Brian Abreu, I believe. Brian Abreu, allowed that one. Obviously, that 1 walk right there was just a hit by a pitch from Adolis Garcia. But it turns out the bench is cleared. Adolis Garcia was talking smack or saying something to Maldonado, who was the catcher, and apparently, they were going back and forth, and they were showing flashbacks that they've kind of had a back and forth before this game a couple months ago and throughout the regular season. So this is not the first time they've kind of had a little back and forth. And so, yeah, that triggered the Astros. I mean, Dusty Baker, the manager for the Astros, was heated. He got injected. Um, yeah, so and that just fueled the fire for the Astros. Unfortunately, I mean the Rangers, of course, they couldn't take advantage in that eighth inning when they had 0 outs and they had 2 runners on. They were still up by 2 runs, but they couldn't assure more runs. And then entering the ninth inning, we had their closing pitcher who has been, or the relief, or yeah, their closing pitcher, Jose Leclerc, who has been good because Chapman, they don't want to put Chapman as a closer because he has been selling games. So they put Jose Leclerc, who got like 4 or 3 saves already throughout the postseason in the division series, and then the first 2 games he closed out and got a save against the Astros in the first 2 games of the series in Houston. So Leclerc has been good, but then it was just not his game. I mean, allowed literally a home run, 2 hits, and that 3-run home run to, of course, who else but Jose motherfucking Altuve, man. He is such these. I don't care if you don't like this man. If you love this man, if you hate this man, this dude is ridiculous at the game of baseball. He's one of the clutchest players that we've seen in postseason history. This man already has 26 home runs, I believe, in the postseason. So he's almost up there with I believe he's already top 3 with the most home runs in postseason history. He's up there with Manny Ramirez, I believe, has like 30, 31 home runs. And Altuve is, catching up there with 26 home runs. But if they win this series and there's, I don't even want to say it, but if they want to go back to back, and defend their championship from last season, then Altuve is obviously one guy that's going to be he's the biggest piece of the puzzle on the offense, and yeah, he helped them, he carried them to this win here, in that ninth inning with a clutch 3-run home run, and then obviously the Rangers couldn't retaliate, and yeah, there it goes. The Astros, they were really down bad throughout this whole game, but then Altuve clutched the fuck up, and they were triggered. And then now they have a 3-2 series lead going into Houston in Game 6. I know the Astros lost their first 2 games in Houston, but I don't want to play the Astros at home in a Game 6 or in a Game 7. Yes, they are particularly a better away team than they are a home team in the playoffs. I kind of been just realize that, not just in this series, because obviously they haven't won a game at home yet. They've won all 3 games in Texas, or in Arlington. But you don't want to, the Rangers now have to win both Game 6 and 7. They needed to win this game, and now that they have to come back, they have to win the next 2 games to eliminate the Astros. I mean, it's not impossible. Game 6 is tonight, so I feel like they could force a Game 7. But in that Game 7, I low-key might have Houston winning. I mean, look, I still have the Rangers. I still want the Rangers to win this series, but this was a blow to them, man. This was an absolute blow. And if they lose today in Game 6, this game was the reason why they just couldn't, if they had it in their back pocket, it just wouldn't have hurt them as much. But yeah, Astros right now take a 3-2 series lead. And now, of course, that leads to Game 4 with the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. I didn't even see the last couple innings of this game, but yeah, I woke up and the Phillies lost this game 6-5. The Diamondbacks woke up in the 7th and 8th inning of this game and scored 4 runs, as you could see. Who had a home run? Alec Thomas had a home run, a couple RBIs from Gabriel Moreno and Christian Walker, as well as Manuel Rivera. So, yeah, Diamondbacks offense, they finally woke up in this one. And they outscored the Phillies in this one. And then, of course, entering Game 5 yesterday, we took charge, finally getting a win on the road in this series, because, we had to blow a 2-0 lead, but it's okay. Now we're up 3-2. And we beat the Diamondbacks yesterday 6-1. Solo home runs by Bryce Harper, by JT Realmuto, by Kyle Schwarber. Again, what did I talk? I've already said it. Those guys have been amazing, and Castellanos has been great as well. And also great defensive plays from Stott, from Bohm, from Turner, even Bryce Harper. I mean, the infield were on point yesterday. They were making some really good defensive plays. The Diamondbacks, yep, offensively couldn't do much. Zach Gallen, though, pitched a really good game. 6 innings, only allowed 6 hits, 4 runs. Of course, there were a bunch of solo shots, and then he allowed 2 runs in the first inning, and then 2 walks. And I mean, damn, he only had 1 strikeout and pitched 6 innings. That's kind of wild. So clearly not much of a strikeout guy. Didn't really deal that much well. Zach Wheeler, 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, only 1 walk, and then struck out 8 batters. Yeah, so the Phillies had to get a win today, and now they're going to Game 6 in Philly tomorrow. So let me check what time is the game tomorrow. At 5? Okay, the game's at 5 tomorrow in Philly. So, yeah, I mean, today we got Game 6 of the Astros and Rangers. I mean, I have the Rangers forcing a Game 7. So let's go Texas. Let's win today so we can get a Game 7 because we haven't had a Game 7, or this could be the first, obviously, Game 7 of the season, of the postseason. And then I do want the Phillies to close that out, to close out the series tomorrow in Philly. So, yeah, I don't want this Tuesday game to happen. The World Series Game 1 will be Friday, October 27th. And then if there's a Game 7 for the World Series, it would be Saturday, November 4th. So they will play within 1 week of the World Series. They would play 7 games. Well, they would play around 7 games in 8 days. So they would only have how many? They would only have Sunday off and Thursday in between. So, yeah. Let's go Rangers. Let's go Phillies. Let's win this series. Phillies tomorrow. Let's close it out tomorrow night. And then the Rangers, let's force a Game 7 and see what y'all can do tomorrow in Game 7 if we get there. So that is that. Now that's that we're caught up with postseason baseball. Now let's go to college football. So we had some pretty good games yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, we had some pretty interesting games. Let's go with obviously all of college football with all the scores. So Tuesday games, we had a couple. Liberty still undefeated, 7-0, beating Middle Tennessee 42-0. We had South Alabama annihilating Southern Miss. Okay, Wednesday we had FIU barely beating this Sam Houston team who were like, I think they were like a Division II. They were like a Division II team last season or whatever. Now they got promoted to now Division I, and this is their first season there. Still looking for a win in Division I football, but they almost had it, almost beating the FIU Panthers. Then New Mexico State defeats UTEP. Rice beats James Madison 7-0, but obviously they're in the goddamn Sun Belt division, and their competition is not that much. Temple getting ass whooped by SMU. Nothing out of the ordinary. All right, so now the Saturday games, we had Michigan. Michigan State, what a garbage school, what a garbage football team, getting annihilated by Michigan. I mean, Michigan had to win this game. I mean, obviously, they're 8-0. They're the second best team in the nation, and they're making the college football playoffs. At least we're looking at them right now. They should be. They should be easily one of the better teams in the nation. But let's see if they don't disappoint in the college football playoffs this year, because last year there was a disaster. Penn State, Ohio State. This was a struggle offensively for both teams, but Ohio State got the win. And Penn State, I mean, I had Penn State just to make things a little bit interesting, but I mean, offensive woes everywhere. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a touchdown, 162 yards. He had a pretty good game. But OSU had a pretty much of a letdown game. It wasn't complete domination as expected, because you're going up against, Penn State, and their defense is pretty good. But damn, 20-12 was kind of a sluggish game, but Ohio State got the job done either way. Then we got Florida State defeating Duke 38-20. Big win for Florida State. They're still ranked number 4 at the moment, 7-0. Washington beating Arizona. Arizona State 15-7. Not the prettiest win. And Michael Penix looked like a human. Yeah, they did not look good. They didn't score a touchdown literally until the fourth quarter. Considering that this offense is electrifying, and this is the same team that beat Oregon last week. Why is my fucking thank you? I don't know why I was doing that. This is the same team that beat Oregon last week. It was pretty much. I mean, they got a pick six for them to finally take the lead. No offensive touchdowns in this game. Yeah, it was a disaster for Oregon and their offense, considering they're playing against a 1-6 or 1-5 Arizona State team that only had managed to score 7 points, only got a rushing touchdown, I believe it was, or I think it was I actually thought it was. I think it was a receiving touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. But ugly win for Washington, but they got the job done. I mean, damn, they get there. You know, you're playing against one of the weakest teams, if not, they're the weakest team in the Pac-12, I believe. I mean, not looking great. You know, having that win, you know, they have it in their back pocket. They're still undefeated. Michael Penix is still probably, you know, in the Heisman competition. He's still, you know, the leader right now, but at the moment, this win was not propelling them to get there anywhere. So we'll see. Next we got Oklahoma defeating UCF 31-29. I mean, Oklahoma. Why is my fucking thing doing that? Oklahoma getting a clutch win, man. They survive UFC. They were giving them the business for a little while throughout this whole game. But Oklahoma clutched up. Then we had Texas defeating Houston. Big win for Texas. Oregon defeating Washington State. Oregon needed to win that game for sure. Virginia upsetting North Carolina. And North Carolina goes down. They're not going to be the 10th best team in the nation after this week. Virginia, this team is dog water, and they were able to completely shut down North Carolina. Well, not completely shut down. You know, they didn't get shut out or anything, but I mean, it kind of feels like it. Drake May had a really, really bad interception to pretty much seal the deal for Virginia. And yeah, man, congrats to Virginia winning this game. This was the biggest win of this entire season. It's been a mess. It's been a lot of shit going on for Virginia. Obviously, the whole situation, you know, last year with a bunch of players, and of course there was a shooting, and you know, a bunch of players, you know, they've lost and stuff. So it was a pretty, you know, emotional season for Virginia. Not, you know, having much production on the football field and this and that. So I mean, a big win for Virginia. Huge loss for North Carolina. Now that Miami is pretty much out the picture, Clemson is still pretty much out the picture, you know, for the playoffs. I mean, North Carolina really had a good chance for that for the playoffs, and you know, they really would have, you know, maybe would have gotten in for that fourth place if they would have won out. But they're doomed now. I mean, they're still probably going to be in the ACC championship game most likely, but this was not a good win, a good loss for them at all. Tennessee losing to Alabama. I mean, yeah, Alabama got the revenge from last year, losing to Tennessee, and well, they couldn't take it. First half they looked pretty ugly. Second half they looked a lot better. Alabama takes a W there. Ole Miss defeats Auburn. Then Utah once again, man, they own USC, dude. Goddamn, 34-32 back-to-back. Not so great performances by Caleb Williams. Yeah, man, USC 2 straight losses, not great. Yikes, dude. Speaking of yikes, goddamn, LSU annihilates Army 62-0. That's wild. Next we got South Carolina, excuse me, losing to Missouri 34-12. Air Force beating Navy. We got Minnesota beating Iowa 12-10. UCLA annihilating Stanford 42-7. Colorado would never do that, unfortunately. Boston College 38-23 win. Baylor defeats Cincinnati 32-29. Okay, and then a bunch of games that I really didn't really watch. Wake Forest beats Pittsburgh. Oklahoma State beats West Virginia. Okay. All right. Florida Atlantic lost by UTSA. TCU, goddamn, man, they lost to Kansas State 41-3. It wasn't even close. BYU beats Texas Tech. Coastal Carolina beat them. The Miami Hurricanes beat the Clemson Tigers. Hooray. Who fucking cares at this point? And wow, unbelievable. Nevada winning their first game of the season with only 6 points. San Diego State, get yourself a fucking Chuck E. Cheese application. What the fuck was that, man? Y'all really lost 6-0. This is not a soccer game, not a baseball game. What the fuck is this, dude? 6-0? That's embarrassing. Come on, dude. What the fuck? All right. Well, yeah, that was yesterday, college football. Now we're gonna make my week 7 picks. Week 7. So, oh yeah, I actually didn't really watch the most of this game. I saw that the Saints they could have tied the game, forced overtime, but Derek Carr was throwing a bunch of simple passes and just couldn't do much there. But the Jaguars did get the win against the Saints there. Ugly performance for the Saints overall, especially offensively. Couldn't do much there. I mean, 24 points and they almost would have tied it, but just couldn't get a job done. Now, let's talk about week 7, man. So we don't have any international games this week. So there's no game at 9:30 or anything. So the 1 p.m. games, there's, I believe, 6 teams on bye. So obviously there's only 13 games this week. So we only have, 12 games left? We have 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. Oh, so we only have 12 games left for this week. Okay, so let's just get straight to it. Falcons, Buccaneers. Buccaneers coming off of a loss to the Lions last week. They didn't get shut out, but they didn't score a touchdown in that one. They had 2 field goals and Baker Mayfield couldn't do nothing. And the Falcons, ugly loss to the Commanders last week. And yeah, both teams coming off of a loss. And in this NFC South division, anything could happen right now. The Panthers are terrible. The Saints are not that great, and they're not really looking like the team, like the favorite, at least to win the division. Atlanta and Tampa could still take this one out. And it's going to be a pretty tough battle for both teams. I don't know how the Falcons offensively, especially their run game, are struggling without Bijan Robinson, but he's been playing good. Their offense has been kind of a mess and has been all over the place. I really don't know what to expect for either teams. I'm gonna stick with the Buccaneers probably for this one. I trust them a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe am I really just now trusting the Buccaneers all of a sudden? I really thought they were gonna be dog shit. They're still not a great team, but I still trust their defense a little bit more. The Falcons, Desmond Ridder, again, if they keep giving Desmond Ridder multiple chances, I don't know, man. Is he ever gonna? I really don't know. I really think they should test out with Taylor Heineke a little bit more. Like, he's not that guy over there, man. He's just not that guy. I feel like they really got to make a change there. So, you know what? Give me the Buccaneers to beat the Falcons. I just don't know if Desmond Ridder is really going to have a good game there, so we'll see. Next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders going up against the Chicago Bears. This is going to be a snooze fest, I guess. Both Justin Fields and Jimmy Garoppolo are going to be out in this game. So it's going to be, I believe, Brian Hoyer for the Raiders and Tyson Bagent for the Chicago Bears as starting quarterback. Yeah, this is going to be a David and Goliath battle for sure. Honestly, I could honestly go either way here. Tyson Bagent, I don't really know much about the guy. He didn't really play great last week against the Vikings. He threw that really bad interception, but I don't know much about. I don't know if this guy is good or not. I really don't know what I could expect from him. Brian Hoyer, he's also not a great guy to have as a quarterback, even backup. He doesn't really get you much there. I could honestly see the Bears winning this one. I don't know, man. I'll give the Raiders. Maybe Brian Hoyer can do something. He has more weapons, and Bagent really only has DJ Moore. You know what I mean? And the run game could do something. But you know what? I trust the Raiders a little bit more. If the Raiders lose to the Bears, I feel like come on now. It won't be ugly. I mean, it probably will be an ugly win for the Raiders because they've only been getting some pretty weird wins this year. But I don't know if they'll comfortably beat the Bears. But if I do have to pick one, I probably got to go with the Raiders in this one. But I could see Chicago winning this one as well. And next we got the Browns going up against the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, the Browns, man, upsetting the NFL world. I mean, shocker, man. They showed who's boss last week against that 49ers, fucking stacked roster. And unfortunately, we'll talk about the Niners, when we get to their game, but Browns, their defense is for real. Their defense is for real. Most of their wins has been because of that defense stepping up at the right time. And last week it was a defensive slugfest for that Browns defense, and they were able to pick up on the run. Again, no Deshaun Watson last week. I believe he's playing in this week, so they're now a lot more comfortable to play against the Colts, who they unfortunately don't have Anthony Richardson. He's out for the remainder of the season with a shoulder injury. And Gardner Minshew, who looked good for one game, and then after that has looked pretty rough. So I trust the Browns defense to, if they're gonna lose to the Colts and beat the Niners, it would be such a, NFL thing to happen. The Browns, they fucking beat the Niners, but they lose to the Colts with Gardner Minshew. I could see the Browns lose this one, but I do like their defense very much. I do want to give them the benefit. And I mean, I think the Browns are the way better team, but you know what, man? The end of sometimes it's not even about the better team. It's just who plays better throughout the week, who plays better in the game. So it doesn't really fucking matter what's the better team because any fucking team can lose at any given moment. We should already learn that by now, but I still have Cleveland winning this one. I just find it hard to believe that. I mean, maybe the run game, Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss, they've both been pretty good this year. They could give the Browns a tough, they can give them some competition, but we'll see. I still got Cleveland winning this one. Next, we got the Washington Commanders going up against the New York Giants. I've been enjoying the Commanders' play this season. I mean, Sam Howell hasn't been amazing, but he hasn't been terrible. He's been good. He's been all right. And he hasn't been. He only had like one or two bad games this year. I think he's only had like one game where he just hasn't. He was terrible. And that's pretty much it. The defense has been very disappointing though. So I feel like, maybe the Giants could maybe do something offensively finally. Maybe their offense could step up, but Daniel Jones is not going to be playing in this one. Tyrod Taylor, once again, is going to be the starting quarterback. And low key, he might make this offense click. Their offense was not good last week against the Bills, but considering they were playing against the Bills and they were this close to actually beating them, you know what? I'm gonna maybe you know what? I'll take it. I'll take the L with me. I'll take it. Give me the Giants beating the Commanders. Why not? Why not? Why not? Y'all can't say shit about it. I was gonna pick the Commanders. I'm gonna be honest with you. I already had picked the Commanders in my pick'em, but I'm gonna go back on my pick'em thing and just change my mind on that. I'm gonna go with the Giants. I low-key trust Tyrod Taylor a little bit more than I do with Daniel Jones. Is Saquon Barkley playing in this one? I believe. Is he still out in this game, or he's going to be playing? I believe he's going to be playing in this one, right? I think he's back now. I don't know, man. I mean, the Commanders' defense, not much to show for. And you know what? Maybe they could do something. Again, they're not going to be fucking putting up. They're not going to be tallying up points like crazy. So I honestly think, Washington right now, I think are the way. Again, what did I just say? The better team, is going to win majority of the games, but the better team doesn't always, track who's going to win the game all the time. And I mean, we're not going to sit here and say that the fucking Jets are a better team than the Eagles, but guess what? That didn't happen last week with the Eagles suffering, last week against the Jets. I mean, we were looking at them like, okay, well, there's no way we're gonna fucking lose to this team, and then we lost to them. So there's no, you can't underestimate anybody. You know what? Give me the Giants. Ugly that I am really picking the Giants. But fuck it, why not? Just give me the Giants. I'll take it. Lions going up against the Ravens. I'm gonna go a little bit bold here. A lot of people are picking the Detroit Lions just because I mean they've been playing great football. But give me the Ravens. Give me the Ravens. I also was tempted to pick the Lions because again, they're the comfortable team to pick. You know what I mean? But maybe I'm just kind of frustrated now from last week's loss to the Jets, and I'm now kind of thinking that a lot of teams are just going to win all of a sudden just because last week is going to go wild. Last week was wild with the upsets. This week it might stay the same. I mean, I don't really think this is going to be a huge upset with the Ravens beating the Lions. The Ravens defense has been pretty good, but the Lions again, they've been great. They've been great on the road, at home. You know, the one loss was against, the Seahawks in overtime, and Jared Goff has been playing like an MVP candidate. I mean, it's hard to say, man. If their offense can like actually click, you know what I mean? If they can run the ball well, if Lamar can have a good ass game, and their defense just plays great, man, the Ravens are they're such a dangerous team. But the Ravens haven't shown their full potential. I know they have not shown their full potential. Yes, they have injuries, but I don't really think the injuries have been destroying them as much as it has been the past last couple seasons. At least at the moment, most of their key players are, playing. Most of their key players are not hurt. And some of them that were hurt, they're actually back already. So you know what? We're just going to assume that the Ravens are going to finally show out a good game. But if the Lions do beat the Ravens, they're going to continue showing, hey, we're still probably the best team in the NFL. And y'all should, finally give us some credit. Because there's still people either discrediting or, completely bashing the Lions for no reason. And that might seem like that's what I'm doing because I'm picking against them for this week. But look, the Ravens, if they could play a great game, they're going to be a scary matchup for the Lions. Do I think the Lions can win this game? Obviously, yes, but sometimes that's I'm being a little bit different. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just changing it up a bit. This one, however, I'm not doing that once the ball. Give me the Bills being the Patriots. I do not trust the Patriots at all. Don't give me none of that. I don't want to be in New England right now. I never ever wanted to be in New England, but this, my goodness, what is this, man? The Bills, man, they were struggling against the Giants last week. So don't even talk to me about the Bills at the moment. They're a great team still, but man, last week was very ugly. Still got the win though. But the Patriots, man, they've been hideous. They've been disgusting. They have not been good at all. Everything has been going wrong. Can the Patriots do something to beat the Bills? Maybe, because the Giants low-key almost did it last week. But I still got the Bills winning. Even if it's the ugliest of wins, give me the Bills to win this one. Thank you. Cardinals, Seahawks. This should be interesting. The Cardinals, again, they're probably going to stay competitive. They're probably going to be a good team in the first. Again, they're a first half team. They're good in that first half. Second half, they shit the bed. Their defense goes out of place. They play like the Cardinals as they've been expected to be this season, just complete dog shit. They've stayed competitive though throughout, most of the games. So I guess they might do the same this one. But yeah, give me Seattle, man. Their run game has been good. Their offense has been great. Geno Smith last week didn't have the best game against Cincinnati, but the Bengals defense was on point last week. I don't think you'll have to struggle much with that Arizona Cardinals defense. So give me Geno having a good game. The offense is clicking. So the Seahawks, they should take that game. Next, we got the Steelers going up against the Rams. I'm kind of tempted. You know what, man? I don't know. I think this is going to be a good matchup for the Rams. The Steelers, they're a good team, man. Offensively, not great. Not great at all. But defensively, that is how they have been able to take down teams like the Ravens. They've been able to take down teams like who else? They beat the Raiders, yes. They beat the Ravens, you know what I mean? Yeah, that Texas game we don't have to talk about, but the offense was just dog shit. They were able to get some pretty solid wins this year. And look, yeah, the Steelers haven't been great, overall, but maybe their offense can finally figure things out. Well, against that Rams defense, it's probably not the best defense to to match up well against. I think low key the Rams. I mean, the Rams they're overpowered, man. They're on offense. They look very well put together. Defensively, they look pretty solid. Their run game is a kind of a question mark. But when you have Puka Nacua, when you have Cooper Kupp, when you have fucking Tutu Atwell, like, they got weapons, man. Their run game is probably going to not be doing much in this game because they have like 4 fucking running backs are going to be switching. They have Darrell Henderson, Zach uh, Evans, and they have another rookie coming off from the practice squad. Like, there's and Kyron Williams, obviously with an ankle injury, he's not going to be playing until like week 10 or week 11. And so that fucking hurts me because I have him on my fantasy, and he's gonna be stuck on my bench for like a month. Because I'm not planning to take him out or drop him, but we'll see. I want to pick the Steelers, but you know what? I'll pick the Rams. This could be a tough matchup for the Rams, but in the end, I just don't trust the Steelers, man. I don't really know if their defense balls the fuck out and completely shuts down Matthew Stafford and that offense. That Steelers unit can low-key get a win, even with the offense barely doing nothing. But if they're not having a dominating game defensively, then I don't think the Rams should lose that game, or will lose that game. So we'll see. But give me the Rams over the Steelers. Next, we got the Chargers going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, the Chiefs, great team. They're the defending champions. They're the Chiefs. They're playing great. That's kind of an understatement, though. Have they been playing great? Not really. They've been playing good, and they're still a good team, a great team, in fact. But I hope they need a dominating win, and against a solid team, not just the Bears, because they destroyed the Bears, and that's been like the only win this season that it was domination. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know. Maybe we've just been so accustomed to this Kansas City Chiefs dominating these past 4 or 5 seasons, and we're just accustomed to always seeing them score 30, 40 goddamn points every game, that if they win by a touchdown or, 10 points or something, it's like not a good game. Or if they win by 3, it's like, ugly win. But the Chargers, they always give them it's a rivalry, man. They every time the Chargers and the Chiefs play, it's always close. It's always neck and neck. So even though the Chargers, they they choke all the goddamn time, they're always going to give the Chiefs some tough competition. So you know what, man? I think the Chargers are going to keep it close once again. But who always comes out on top? The Kansas City Chiefs. It doesn't matter if they have fucking 2 minutes and they're down by 3 points or a touchdown. They're going to tie this motherfucker up. They got Patrick Mahomes, and we've had some pretty good Chargers-Chiefs games, but the Chiefs don't lose these games. I don't see the Chargers winning this one. Once again, I don't see the Chargers stopping the Kansas City today. That's just not in the agenda, in my opinion. So give me Kansas City beating LA. Next, we got the Packers going up against the Denver Broncos. I mean, the Broncos, their defense is completely non-existent. So, even if they score even if they allow like 10 points, it'll probably be good enough. But my goodness, man, the Packers, they've not been good, man. The last 2 games, not good whatsoever. I don't like it. Give me the Packers, man. Jordan Love, hopefully he has a bounce back game. He's had 2 back-to-back games that were not great. Against the Broncos defense, he should ball out. They have weapons there. So, what? Give me the Packers. We'll see. Broncos, y'all probably could ball out offensively, but defensively, y'all just not going to do shit. And now, let's talk about the Miami Dolphins going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Sunday Night Football primetime game of the year, hopefully, maybe. Man, and a potential Super Bowl matchup? Maybe. Wow, I'm super excited for tonight's game. I mean, these are literally both of my favorite teams going up against each other, both playing really good football this year. Yes, let's not talk about the Eagles last week. That was a complete disaster. But it's okay because the Eagles, they don't play like that, and we're not accustomed to those kind of games like that. One bad game, we're not going to cut them off. They're still a very good team and a a very dangerous team to play. But here's my thoughts. The Dolphins, offensively, my goodness, perfection, beautiful. It's art. It is art the way that this Dolphins offense has been clicking from the passing to the running. My goodness, it's been amazing to watch this Dolphins team scoring touchdowns like it's nothing. We're moving the ball so well. Tyreek Hill's playing out of his goddamn mind. It's beautiful to see. The defense definitely needs a lot of work. Definitely needs improvement. But we also need to face some adversity. We also need to get a big road win. We've beaten some pretty dog shit teams. The Panthers still haven't won a game. The Giants, the Broncos, the Patriots. Look, we have to look again. I'll make this point right now. We've won in dominating fashion, besides the Patriots, against the Broncos. Complete domination. Complete domination against the Giants. Complete domination against, well, not complete domination, because we were down 14-0 in this one. But still, we took over after that first quarter. After the first quarter, complete domination. But then we got dominated by the Bills. We got dominated by the Bills by almost 30 points. Yes, that was on the road. Yes, it was in Buffalo in a tough environment, in a game where, where it's a division rivalry. It's going to be one of those nitty-gritty games, but damn, it was not close at all. That defense completely got lit up, and the offense was just not there. It was just not there. It's a tough crowd over there in Buffalo, and we just couldn't get it done. In Philly, you don't think it's going to be as hard, if not even harder than in Buffalo. We rarely, if not barely, ever, this team has never played the Eagles. This exact Miami Dolphins team has never played the Eagles like the Eagles are this year. When was the last time the Dolphins played the Eagles in the regular season? Fucking 25 years ago? I don't know. They don't play each other often, so it's gonna be it's gonna be a new environment for the Dolphins, playing all the way in Philly in a tough ass environment to win games, and especially with the Eagles losing last week, they are coming for revenge. Jalen Hurts has been I bet he has been pissed off this week. He's been fucking practicing like a madman, and he's assuring himself he is not going to have a terrible game like he did last week. So the Eagles are going to come out playing fucking hungry, man. So I hope the Dolphins are aware of that and they prepare themselves for that. So I understand why most people are going with the Eagles. And as well as I could easily pick the Eagles to win this game. But if the Dolphins can win this game, you know what? I'll say it right now. If the Dolphins win this game, we are the best team in the NFL. We're the best team in the NFL. I don't care if the Niners win on Monday Night Football tomorrow. I don't care if the Bills win against the Patriots or whatever. I don't care if the Lions win against the Ravens. All the good teams can win. All the elite teams in the NFL, the Chiefs, they could win. Whatever. If the Dolphins beat the Eagles in Philly tonight, the Dolphins, by far, in my opinion, will be the best team in the NFL. Then we'll see next. Well, then we'll, at least at the moment, at least for this week, entering week 8, the Dolphins will be the best team in the NFL if they can get this really big, important road win. And I low-key want to see it. I also do want to see the Eagles face through some adversity, some tough losses, but I obviously don't want this game to be a fucking blowout. I want this game to be, and if I'm expecting the Dolphins to win this game, it's definitely not by a fucking blowout, because our defense is not going to blow any team out unless it's like the Broncos or whatever, but not the Eagles, obviously not. So I'm expecting a battle here, as everyone is, but I'm going to go with the Dolphins, man. I want them to win a big game on the road, because we couldn't do that in Buffalo. So if we can do that in Philly, it's going to put the league on notice, and more people are going to be on their dick. I'm not going to lie. More people are going to be they're going to be hop on the bandwagon. They're going to be like, okay, the Dolphins are legit. They beat the Eagles in Philly. Okay. I mean, that doesn't guarantee a Super Bowl, obviously, but we're going to be looking a lot better. 6-1 and a win against the Eagles. And then again, we can always get our revenge against the Bills, at home when we play them. I think the Dolphins play them the last game of the season. yeah, whatever. And this game is probably going to be like switched to prime time. We'll see what the playoff implications are in this game, but yeah, like and same thing with the Chiefs. Well, I mean, this game is going to be in Germany, so it's gonna kind of be like a neutral site. So is that really going to be like? There's really no home field advantage for this game. But this would also be a very big win if the Dolphins can beat the Chiefs in this one. But other than that, they don't really have many road like very important road wins against really good teams that they could like you know impress. The NFL. I mean the Ravens. I mean, yeah, they beat the Ravens. Last year that was a shootout when they had the Ravens and the Dolphins in Week 2. Man, that was an absolute shootout by both teams. That was when fucking Tua had like 6 passing touchdowns, like almost like 500 yards. Oh my goodness, that game was, man, that game was, oof, my goodness, it was one of the best Dolphins games, offensive performances I've ever seen in my life. That game last season was amazing. But if the Dolphins can get the job done tonight, I'll be super impressed. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. And then finally, we got the Niners going up going up against the Minnesota Vikings. My goodness. Yeah, just give me the Niners. Yeah, they are hungry. They're upset that they lost last week to the Browns, and their Vikings defense is not amazing. It hasn't been terrible though, but yeah, give me the Niners beating the Vikings in this one. Yeah, and that is those are my week 7 picks. So let me just go over them. Make sure all my picks on the Pick'em League is correct because I did switch. I did change my opinion on a couple of them. So let me just correct myself if I have them. So so I have the Raiders beating the Bears. Okay, I have the Browns beating the Colts. I have the Bills beating the Patriots. I have the Giants beating the Commanders. Upset there. The Buccaneers defeating the Falcons. The Ravens beating the Lions. The Rams defeating the Steelers. I did have the Steelers winning for a quick minute, but I'm sticking with the Rams. The Seahawks over the Cardinals, the Packers over the Broncos, the Chiefs over the Chargers, the Dolphins over the Eagles, which I don't is not an upset, but they're not the favorites, so we'll see there. I have them winning, and then the Niners beating the Vikings. So those are my week 7 picks. Let's get straight to the album reviews. So let's just get straight to it because I do have a couple things to talk about. All right, let me do some quick album reviews. So we have Becky G's new album, Esquinas. Again, I only have heard the album like twice, so there's still a couple more listens um, that I have to like go over really, really much. You know what? I'll review this album when like I know a little bit more about it because after one listen, there's not really much I can like review yet. So you know what? I'll just kind of talk more about that later on. Something to Give Each Other by Troye Sivan. His new album came out last week. 10 songs, 32 minutes long, and I've been bumping this one. It's a pretty good pop record. Rush is a fire song. Still Got It. Got Me Started. Some is a couple bangers. Honey's a banger as well. Just some good pop songs on this album. You know what I mean? So you know what? I've been fucking with it. So I've been, interested with this, and so yeah, I've been enjoying this one pretty much. Is there really anything else that I've been listening to? Let me make sure if there's anything else here. Hold on. Oh yeah, right. You know what? Man? There's still other albums I have to react to, man. Because after one or two listens, there's still songs I just don't even remember. So maybe I'm just gonna review them like for the next episode. But let's just do the Drake. Let me just stop the bullshit. Let's finally review For All the Dogs. Drake's new album. October 6th. It's already October 22nd, and this album came out October 6th. So yeah, it's been already overdue for me to review this album. So after like 5 or 6 complete listens of this album, it definitely has changed a bit after the first listen. So let's go by track to track. 23 songs, an hour and 24 minutes long of this album. And so yeah, let's just talk about it. So Virginia Beach, good production. There's a Frank Ocean sample in the song. Pretty good song. At first listen, I was like, okay, the song's okay. Nothing crazy to me. Didn't really stand out much. But now it's a good song. It's one of my it's not one of my favorites, but it's definitely up there. It's high up there on the album. Not a bad, excuse me, not a bad intro song to start a Drake album, but definitely I think is far away from his best intro song. But still pretty good song. Amen with Tizo touchdown. Honestly, Drake did his thing, but Tizo really outperformed Drake in this one, I think. Drake did his thing here, but Tizo really bodied this shit. I'm not gonna lie. Tizo really got his fucking gospel bag in this one. This is like a Donda reminiscent type of song, you know what I mean? Talking about God, talking about, um, praying for his family and this and that and his dogs and this and that. So I kind of, I appreciate the message, and I do like, the performance for both artists here. But I think Tizo outshined Drake in this one. Calling for You, featuring 21 Savage, track number 3. I like how the song starts. Drake kind of rapping on this like 7 everyone. This kind of like, in this interesting flow. But then it goes to like this dialogue from this woman for like 2 minutes that I really like. Okay, that's not really necessary on the song. Like talking about some like, why is she forced to eat the same food every day? Why is she forced to eating jerk chicken and fucking oxtail every day? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, what are you talking about? Shut the hell up, respectfully, please. And then 21 Savage, the beat switches, then 21 Savage comes in, and his verse was just mid, dude. Just not. Eh. If this was on Her Loss, would easily be the worst song on Her Loss. So I'm glad it's not on Her Loss, and it's on this album. But not even then, man. This is not one of the songs I fuck with on this album, man. Pretty disappointing since we literally had album of the year, or one of the best albums of the year, with Drake and 21 last year, and that this song on the next album just didn't hit. So yeah, this is not that good in my opinion. Fear of Heights, love the beat, love the energy. Some questionable ass lyrics, some Drake lyrics, but but it's a pretty good song. I fuck with it. I love the energy. Amazing. Not amazing. Whoa. It's definitely not amazing. We're a little too far from that, but it's still a good song. Daylight. Shot him in daylight. Shot him in daylight. Yeah, doesn't sound much of a Drake song you would take much seriously, but it's a banger. It goes hard, and especially Adonis giving you that verse at the end. Don't talk to my man like that. You know what I mean? Like that. That's amazing. Adonis verse, feature of the year, amazing verse. Killed it. Killed it. Killed it. But if we're on a more serious note, first person shooter with J. Cole. I'm about to. I'm about to. I'm about to. Oh my goodness, man! This song's abs. I mean, come on now. When you have J. Cole and Drake on a song, man, you just know it's gonna be amazing, dude. And this was a moment. This is a moment, man. This song, it's number one in the country. J. Cole finally has a number one song in his fucking catalog. Yes, he's the feature, but who cares, dude? J. Cole, once again, his verse was fantastic. Drake, though, I think absolutely fucking did great on this song, too. Like, a lot of people saying J. Cole washed. I think he had a better verse. But we're not going to sit here and say Drake did not fucking spaz in that third verse. That last verse of the song, he went crazy. And especially had, like, that meltdown, voice, like that type of flow, and he had a good, he had a good cadence to it, and it fit super well. He made the song even harder with the beat switch and everything. This song overall was great. Love this song. This is the song that everyone should like from the album. Just from a complete standpoint, from every aspect, I feel like everyone should like this song. If you had to pick one good song, you would have to pick this one, I believe. At least this would be one of them. I Don't Give a Fuck featuring Yeet, a banger. I like this song, but this is a Yeet song. Like, Drake being on this song wasn't absolutely necessary. It felt like a Yeet featuring Drake song. This is Yeet's song. So he outperformed him just because this is his sound, this is his lane. but it's a banger though. I fuck with it. It's cool. 7969 Santa, a slower pace song, but it's cool. It's a vibe. It's cool. Tizo with the beat switch. Tizo comes in and there's like an interlude by with Snoop Dogg. Pretty good song. I fuck with this one. Slime You Out with SZA. I already talked about it. Good lead single. The second part of the song is great. Bahamas Promises, a song about this woman Haley ruining his trip to the Bahamas, and he's crying over it because this woman clearly does not appreciate him enough that she had just had to fuck up his whole thing, fuck up his whole trip, unfortunately. But honestly, I fuck with the song now. At first, I was not really into it, but this one I fuck with it. Tried our best. I heard a snippet of this when before the album came out. Really liked it, and while the song comes out, and I'm still fucking with it, man. This is definitely one of the best songs on the album. I love it, man. Just like great production around the singing, the rapping. I think this is probably like his best song with his best combination of rapping and singing. His singing here I think is great, and his rapping here is great. So I think it's a good, double effect of Drake on this song because we get good on both sides. Screw the World interlude. It's just a DJ Screw interlude. Rest in peace, DJ Screw. Of another classic old song. I believe it's an interlude of like of an older Nas song. I think it's If I Ruled the World. I believe that's like the where the beat or like the his cadence is from on the song. I believe, I'm not mistaken. You guys could correct me. Drew Picasso. I was not a fan of this song at first listen. I thought it was kind of like okay. The production wasn't too much for me. It wasn't doing much. The second part of the song, though, the second half of the song, it gets better. It gets better. But I feel like when you listen to the song, when I listen to the song, I kind of just like waiting for the second half to begin. I kind of don't give much love to the first half of the song, and I'm just ready for the second half of the song. So for me, I don't know if I really like it or not, but it's not a bad song. I'll give it that. Members only. I like. I'm not a huge fan of Party Next Door. His music is like okay to me. I'm not crazy on their like collabs and stuff. They don't have bad songs. I don't think this is a bad song. This is just not a song that I'm really into that much. Though the chorus is catchy with the gang. Like even though I've only heard the song like 3-4 times, the song's catchy and at least I will remember it for what it is. But it's not a song that I would be bumping like that. But it's not terrible. I'm not gonna shit on it. It's definitely not shittable, or it's not a song that I would shit on for no reason. What would Pluto do? Absolute banger. This is the song that had the snippet of the okay, something on Dada's Need Sister. Okay. Fire, banger, another good song. Fuck with that one. All the Parties featuring Chief Keef, another softer song with Chief Keef, kind of just having an okay verse. Didn't really have much of a verse. He just was there for like 10, like 30, like 20 something seconds. Like didn't have much of a performance there. But yeah, this song's cool. This is all right. Not a bad song. Not a bad song. 8 a.m. Charlotte. My goodness, man, this song, man, we needed more rapping Drake, like just spitting bars, giving us 3 verses of just no hook, just bars, just verses, just man. We needed more songs like this. But you know what? At least we got one song like this, and I'm happy with it, man. 8 a.m. Charlotte, you gotta love this one. If you love rapping, this song is just hits, man. Man, it's great. BBL Love interlude. Not really necessary to the track list. It's all right. I don't know if I'll be bumping this one though. Gently with Bad Bunny. This was a fucking mess of a song. I expected the song to be a lot better. Definitely disappointing. I mean, they've worked together, Mia, and that was a banger. This song was not it. How did Drake's Spanish get worse? Like he started speaking like in an Italian accent, trying to speak in Spanish. It sounded so fucking cringy. I'm not gonna lie, dude. And I was kind of shocked because like his Spanish doesn't sound this bad, dude. He sang songs in Spanish. He's rapped songs in Spanish a couple times in the past, and it sounded good. This one just fell flat. There's no way he took his time with this one. He did this song in fucking 5 minutes. He freestyled this whole thing probably. Bad Bunny's verse was good though. It was all right. Nothing crazy. Typical Bad Bunny verse you're gonna get, but his flow, it did his thing. I can't say much about it, but it's not a bad song to listen to. Not bad. Um, Rich Baby Daddy, Sexy Red and SZA. Not gonna lie, man, this song is catchy, dude. I'm not a fan of the song, but it's a catchy song. It's a catchy song. The beat's fire. SZA's verse is cool. Drake's part's okay, and then the hook. I'm not crazy on the song. I don't know if I'll be bumping this one. Yeah, another late night with Lil Yachty. This song is kind of more of a Yachty song, but I think Drake did better. Yachty really didn't. This is kind of Yachty's weakest verse, probably of the whole year, dude. I'm not gonna lie, like Yachty didn't give 100 million per se. He didn't really go crazy on this one. Drake kind of outshined Yachty on like his own kind of sound or his own kind of like beat and shit. So yeah, so I think Drake definitely did a lot better than Yachty on this one. I think it's still a cool song though. Away from Home, rapping Drake. I fuck with this, reminiscing about the past. I was sleeping on this song. I'm not gonna lie. I was sleeping on this song at first listen, but now I fuck with it. I fuck with this one a lot. Polar Opposites. This song's cool. I like the production, but the song's alright. Also wasn't fucking with this one at first listen, but this one's alright. Not too much to say. So yeah, that's For All the Dogs, ladies and gentlemen. For All the Dogs. Drake. The only skips that I'm skipping from this album. Rich Baby Daddy, Gently, BBL Love, Members Only, Screw the World Interlude, because it's an interlude, Calling for You, and Polar Opposites. So like seven songs, yeah. So 16 out of 23. So I'm bumping 16 songs from this track list and skipping 7. That's me. Of course, I've listened to this album like 4 or 5 times in totality. So I've heard every song at least 4 or 5 times. But the songs that I would rather skip, I'm just forcing myself to listen to it just so I can actually see if I like it or not. But I feel like generally there's 7 skips on this album. But we have 16 songs that I'm taking away here. But again, 16 out of 23. And we have 7 skips, man. Like, it's a good ratio. It's not terrible. There's more songs I'm listening to than there's more skips, right? And it's pretty much double. Then, the amount of songs I'm going back to is double the amount that I'm skipping, right? But Drake needs to take a break. Drake needs to take a break because I do feel like he has, man, he's been feeding us. And as a Drake fan, he's been feeding us so much these past his entire career. His entire career he has been feasting us, man. Especially since 2015. When was the last time he did not drop an album in an entire year? 2014 was the last year that Drake did not drop an album, a mixtape, a compilation album, or whatever. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. He's dropped an album every single year. And of course, as a Drake fan, you're fucking excited. You're like, more Drake? Why would I not ask for that? Of course I want it. And of course I'm excited for the album. And of course I'm still going to be listening to this album. And of course this is going to stay and I'm going to be eating this shit up. Despite the skips. And despite not being a classic album or amazing or perfect or even a great record at first listen or even after 5, 6 listens, I'm still getting a lot of good Drake songs on this album. But but that's just me as a fan just enjoying what I can get. But what I really want, at least me, and what I feel like a lot of Drake fans want, and look, I'm gonna be speaking for me because I'm not gonna be speaking for everybody else. Because who am I to speak for everybody else? I can't do that, right? But I do want a Drake album where he's giving us, like, he gives us a lot of hope with his albums because we know that he can rap, we know that he can sing, We know if he really wanted to, he can give us something so cohesive, super concise, if he took his fucking time with the album. He made this album while he was on tour, and he had probably songs, years ago that he just kind of finished during tour, this and that. But dude, can you imagine? Like you made a studio album during tour. My goodness, like he didn't like he. I know he delayed the album multiple times, giving himself more time to finish the album. But dude, you really have to take a break and like chill out, man. Find new things to discover. Find new things to rap about. Because I do feel like it is some of the subject matter on this album kind of gets old. I'll take it because it sounds good, right? But I do want something a little bit more cohesive. I do want something that's a little bit more focused and not 23 fucking songs, dude. You know what I mean? Of course I'm going to take it because I'm a fan. And I don't mind listening to a 23, track Drake album. That sounds like a dream, obviously. But he actually did say that he was going to take a break, once this album came out. And so I'm hoping that's what he's doing. Don't drop next year, dude. It's fine. No one is going to fucking come after you if you don't drop next year, bro. You're Drake. And it's so shocking to me that Drake, he's one of the biggest musicians in the world, and he's putting out albums every single year. Like it's insane. And for one reason, I look at that, I'm like, well, look at him, bro. At least he's not fucking Kendrick Lamar taking 17 million years and the fucking until the sun explodes to drop an album. But at the same time, the more shit you put out, it's like, god damn, man. It's just you're giving us so much fast food, but at the same time, you're giving us so much quality. If you just spend a little bit more time, if you stop dropping so much shit, and spent a good amount, a couple years, 1, 2 years, shit, maybe even 3 years. What if the next Drake album comes out in 2026? We don't get new music from Drake in 2024 and 2025. I mean, yes, Billboard will be missing Drake, and we will be missing Drake, of course, obviously, yes. And me, but he's been feeding us. He's damn near 40 years old. He's turning 37 in a couple of days. You know what I mean? Like he's borderline towards the end of his career. You know what I mean? He's definitely dropping more albums. He's not retiring anytime soon. But I feel like he definitely needs a break to kind of figure new things to rap about, find new perspectives. Because he can keep giving us good songs like 8 a.m. in Charlotte. Um, uh, you know, these rapping performances, these singing performances, he can still give us so many good material. And he's not washed. He's not fucking trash. He can hop on a new wave and sound great, and he can hop on a wave and doesn't sound that great and get carried. But he can also still do his own thing and still be Drake and don't have to give us fucking 23 songs and this and that. I know he's a hits guy. I know every year he drops an album because he's guaranteed to get 1 or 2 fucking hits. And obviously, him having a whole album of like 14 songs of like 14 8 a.m. in Charlotte's or middle of the oceans or away from home is not going to give him number one material, because obviously if you're a Drake fan, you would love to have like 13 12 songs of just him rapping, just bars. But is he really going to get a number one song off of that? For me, I feel like he could still get a number one song off of that shit. But since he has other songs in other sounds, it's just gonna do more. The Yeet song is gonna sell more than 8 a.m. in Charlotte just because it's a Yeet song with Drake. The J. Cole song I accepted because, well, it's a banger and it's still a great song to listen to. And that's the thing. He always wants to give us that's the thing with Drake, right? We can't expect him to only stick to the singing or only sticking to the rapping because he's always gonna feed both sides. And that's the thing, and that's the good thing, and that's one thing I appreciate, that he could always give us some good rapping performances and good singing performances. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind if he just lays down an entire album, just focuses on rapping, or just focus on singing. If he just focuses on one particular thing, who gives a fuck of what other? Oh, I wanted a full rapping album, or oh, I wanted a full singing album. I'm a fan, and I'm giving you ideas, and you don't have to fucking listen to me. You know what I mean? In the end of the day, he makes his own music and he crafts however he fucking wants to, right? But at the same time, it wouldn't be a bad thing if he just tried something a little bit new, or at least try to just stick to one thing for at least one time and see how it would work and find if it would work for him and this and that. He's down to fucking make albums like Honestly Nevermind and just try something completely new. You know what I mean? A whole dance album? Who the fuck expected Drake to do that? Obviously, was a lot of people liking it? No, because it was kind of out of left field for him, right? But I always appreciate that he made that album. It may not be my favorite album, but I respect him for at least putting that out there. And there's still some songs I go back to. I still go back to Honestly Nevermind, even with me not being the biggest fan of the album. So, no matter what it is, I'm gonna be feasting any Drake album, even if it's Scorpion, his shittiest album. I'm gonna be eating that shit up because I'm a fan, right? But if he does like just kind of slow down a bit, you know, give himself time and feel like when he is ready to drop music, he's gonna fucking shape up hip hop and put something really fucking good, dude. If he waits at 30, if he waits till like he's 39 or 40 to drop again, he's gonna drop another fucking classic album that from the first listen, people are gonna be like, holy shit, man. We thought you were just gonna just keep doing the same shit over and over, but man, you really did that. And that's fine, dude. And that's fine. And what he's doing now, I'm not saying is a bad thing. I'm not saying what he's doing is a terrible method. He's smart. He knows what he's fucking doing, dude. So who am I to question or like judge or like me to like make my like or make him try to convince him, oh no, man, don't go the Billboard way. Do the old 10, 11 songs, just pure rap. Like I'm just putting out suggestions. I'm just saying what I kind of want, but I'm also not trying to like breed into that and say that that's exactly what he's expecting to do or that's what I need him to do. Because who the fuck is he gonna just listen to, the fans? It's his creative process. He puts out the music that he wants to put out, right? And follows the formula that works for him. And obviously the formula has been working. He's still one of the biggest artists in the world after 15 years. He goes number one number one album, number one song for fucking every single album. After 15 years, he's damn near 40, and and he's dropping every single year. There's artists that have to wait multiple years to craft something for them to get a number one album, and sometimes they don't even get a number one album or even a number one song. And he's doing that shit every single year like it's nothing. He has like 13 number one songs. By the way, he officially has tied Michael Jackson for the most number one songs by a male solo artist. And so I think he's like top 4 now. He's behind Rihanna, the Beatles, and Mariah Carey. The Beatles have like fucking 20. So he has a lot to do. And if he's doing that, then he's not going to be doing taking too much time to, drop music. But if he's chasing the amount of hits, then he's not going to do what I just, basically have explained for the last fucking 10 minutes or so. But yeah, those are my opinions. If I have to give it a rating now from 1 to 10, I'll give it like a 7.5. I'll give it like a 7.5 because there's still a lot of good songs here. There's still great material, this and that. And it's going to be in my rotation. It's not like I'm hating on this album or like, of course there's songs here that I'm not crazy about, but it's Drake. I'm going to be eating a fucking Drake album up. Like, you just expect it from me. So that's that. But that's that for all the dogs. For all the dogs. Thank you guys. That will be it for today's episode. I gotta, take a shower, get ready for the day. But thank you guys for watching. See you guys Tuesday night for another episode. We recapping week 7, the NBA season kicking off on Tuesday night. Obviously, making my predictions for the season's MVP, who's winning the championship. Am I gonna be biased about the Heat? Am I gonna fucking bail out the Sixers? This and that. But see you guys in a bit. Take care and peace out, my friends.